2016 over with. Say or suck. I mean, seem to want to kill everything. From my microphone to my hope for the future to, well, just about everybody. Even had to sneak in a last minute kill of Father Mulcahy on the last, from MASH, on the last day of the year. Tell me, what could 2016 have possibly been holding against Father Mulcahy? Ouch. Well, the good news is I think I found a review format where I won't have to use a microphone. So you can expect new videos from me every week or two that aren't Mass Effect. I'm not exactly sure that's good news for anyone. Well, at least we know one thing for sure. 2017 can't be any worse than 2016. Oh wait, who am I kidding? Trump will be inaugurated by the end of the month. 2017 already sucks. Okay, so let's start 2017 off with an unboxing video, because it's not like people on YouTube are sick of seeing other people unbox things, and it's not like this is a cheap and quick way for me to bang a video out there to get it out as close to the beginning of the year as I possibly can. And it's definitely not based on the fact that my house is just too loud and filled with too many people for me to do another type of video at the moment. I mean, when does this vacation stuff end anyway? Oh, and it's definitely not based on childhood and nostalgia for a game that many hardcore fans consider the weakest in its franchise. No. But at least it's not sponsored by a garbage disposal like Loot Crate. This is 100% me. Although, and unsponsored, I get no money from these videos whatsoever. So yay, poverty. It also gives me the freedom to swear on YouTube, even though I don't normally do it. Fuck ass. Whole bastard, bitch, cunt. Do I now qualify as a celebrity YouTube reviewer who can get 1,000 views and then get all my money taken away? You know, so I have a job to fill like that empty pipe. No? Motherfucker. Well, let's see what you used to get in a box 20 years ago. And a game that turns 20 this year. As the title card suggested, I am unboxing Wing Commander Prophecy. Okay, as you can probably guess, I am a huge fan of the Wing Commander series. And, well, so this was the first one I actually played since my family didn't get a computer until the Windows 95 days. So, in fact, there's the original computer. For all its stickers off. It still runs in safe mode with Windows 98. My family first got in that. This was played on. My dad had to get the first 3D accelerator card. A Voodoo 2 3DFX card. This is the first one I played, although I have to agree it probably is the weakest in the number of gameplay options, but let's just look at the box. Nice cover. The ultimate sci-fi combat simulator. I know some people would argue with that, even within the Wing Commander series. But then again, EA was in strict control of Origin at this point and trying to squash any quality the once great company had pumped out. See here, it opens up, nice shot. Yeah, this is what you used to get for $50 for your game. Now all you get is an empty case with a download code. A rundown of all the ships you'll fly in the game, except the Midway. That you don't fly that, you just defend it because it's like tissue paper, and you have to keep running back in the middle of offensive missions to defend it because what's keeping you, Alpha Wing? We need assistance at once. Or they die and you get mission failed. Here you get the system specs. Pentium 200 plus megahertz, and don't try running this on the minimum. Believe me, it crashes like crazy. We learned that the hard way. Oh, and this was a big deal. 453 megabytes. That was almost 1/12 of our hard drive space back in the day. And we had the biggest hard drive of any computer of anyone who I knew who had a personal computer at the time, which was 6 gigabytes. So yeah, that was a big deal. And you have a list of features. They outline the plot. Ancient prophecy, blah blah blah. New enemy coming out because you killed the old one in the last 2 games. This one I breakthrough combat graphics with 3DFX. Accelerator support. They really should have said require, because there are certain missions that just crash if you don't have a 3DFX card installed. The good thing about this game, though, is that without any mods or anything, it wouldn't run on Windows XP, so I had given up on it for years. It wouldn't run on Windows XP, and like everything, it wouldn't run on Windows ME, but it does run on Windows 7 perfectly. I haven't tried it on Windows 8 or Windows 10, but it does run on Windows 7 perfectly. So, here is that. Addictive gameplay. Yeah, I can attest to that. I worn out my share of joysticks over the past 20 years playing it. Gripping storyline unfolds on each mission and affects the course of the war. Not really. You have one mission where if you don't talk to a guy before it, he dies. That's pretty much it. The other two games with their cinematics had branching pathways similar to Mass Effect. In fact, Wing Commander 3 even had you selecting who your love interest was. Stunning cinematic sequences. Yeah, for the time they looked pretty good. Featuring return appearances. I love that they list the characters but not the actors play them. Blair, played of course by Mark Hamill, who you actually played as in the last 2 games. Now you play as a new recruit. Maniac, yeah, played by Biff from Back to the Future, and Rachel, who I don't think has any other screen credits to her name. Gonna have to see if this website even still exists. www.wingcommanderprophecy.com. So that's what you got on the outside of an old box. Now let's see what you got on the inside. Origin was always really good at packing in lots of stuff. See, looks like a plain cardboard box in there, but in addition, but you got the game with Ultima Online, which I know some Ultima fans have a problem with because it pulled resources away from other Ultima games. Free discs, which again was a big deal at the time. Free CD, game having to take up free CD-ROMs, and you have to insert the correct CD-ROM that you left off on the game, so that's a bit of an annoying thing. But you know, nice little jewel case here with the same box art of the vampire flying out of a jump point. Registration card from before the days of DRM, where you could register, and they'd try to entice you with, you know, free stuff. Time to play. Let's see what this is like. It's a catalog of EA games. Need for Speed 2 had that. Nuclear Strike, I think I played that on the PlayStation. I'm pretty sure there was a PlayStation port. I had Need for Speed 2, although I had the special edition, which had war cars, a bunch of cheat codes you could fly around, I think, as a UFO. Moto Racer, I know I had that at some point. Gettysburg, yeah, that was a really good strategy game. Never got into the Ultima series before it went on Good Old Games. Again, not a sponsor, just a shout out that if you're going to use any online download service that only gives you a download for a game, try to use Good Old Games if possible, where they don't have this DMR nonsense. An ad for the game you just bought. Guess these catalogs were cranked out in such a way that couldn't. Lots of flight sims. Those don't even exist anymore. I don't know if any of these were any good, but this is something I've always been interested in, is a submarine sim, because that seems like it would have been interesting to play, but I never got one. Again, a strategy game that looks really ambitious for the time, and it's from Bullfrog. Another company did their best to run into the ground the moment they got their grubby little hands on it. Dungeon Keeper. Oh, I've always wanted to play that ever since I first saw an ad for it in a magazine. I always wanted to play that, but never got the chance. Getting to run an evil dungeon, seems like it would be fun. You got installation guide here. One thing it doesn't mention is that it tells you all the problems that could happen while you're installing this on your Windows PC and your controller. Gameplay is typical for the genre at the time. It gives you such helpful hints as insert Wing Commander Prophecy CD-ROM into the drive. Thank you. The thing it doesn't mention is that this is the first game I can think of that had DLC. Yes, actual content you downloaded on the internet. There was a whole new campaign that you could download off the internet. I never got it, but it's available in the Gold Edition, again, off of Good Old Games, which I don't happen to own at the moment. Updates, telling you what video cards are supported and how to get Direct 3D, how to get Direct FX running. It tells you that volume controls control the volume. Yeah, that's the state we were in the mid 90s, was making sure volume controls. And here's something I like. This flight manual, it's written in such a way, the user manual is actually written in such a way, soundtrack CD, I didn't realize games did that back then, but this is written, but look, yeah, this has everything you need to know, so you can quickly look it up. I hate the on-disc manuals we have today, because it means that you can't quickly look up any answers. If you're just like, oh wait a second, I can't remember to control the do that. Yeah. Here's the kill board, which you always want to try to get to the top of. You can get a tactical display, practice simulator, to the ready room, and you can talk to various people here, triggering video scenes. In the old games, they would give you morality choices that would affect what ending of the game you got. Again, predating Mass Effect and other games like Fable, but this one they cut it out for budget and time reasons and to get the game out faster. So While I love this game, I can understand why a lot of hardcore Wing Commander fans who started the series before and love Wing Commanders 3 and 4 for that, consider it the weak link of the series and a sign that EA had run this series into the ground. Everything's here that you need to know about the gameplay, including tell you that when you get screwed ejected and you have a 50-50 chance of either being picked up by the aliens, seeing a cutscene where you're either picked up by the aliens or killed, or you get yelled at by the mechanic for not bringing the ship back. Shows you how to control it with a mouse. Why you would want to do that, I have no idea. Yep, all the controls are right here, so you could look them up while playing instead of having to eject from the game, go in, find a PDF file, and then read it. And then here's another reference card for Flight, right here, all in color. Again, something you don't see anymore. And then this is what I like. The game's backstory is given to you. It's sort of like a viral marketing thing, only it's not on the internet, in that it's given to you in such a way that it's the ship's newsletter. I loved reading this because it gives you all the background you need to know for where you're starting out in the game when you start it. And it gives you info on all the different ships and everything. It's like it's the ship's newsletter being handed out to all the pilots. This sort of thing they did with the Ultima Series 2. Origin was really good at, like, immersing the player. And then last but not least, something that I can't even show you on this whole thing is they finally gave you a map of the whole Wing Commander universe. There's no way I can pull the camera out far enough for you to see all this, so excuse the jerky camera movement, but I mean, look at this. This is just nice. It's too nice for me to even hang on my wall. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it in the box. I had one when I was a kid that I hung on the wall and it fell apart. So, actually it was my brother's. I think he was pretty mad at me for that for a while. But, yeah. You get all these explanations of technology, all the star systems, what planets are in them, what's happened, and all this stuff. So, that's what you used to get in the game 20 years ago. And the game still plays fine. It's still fun to play, even if it is lacking in some features. So, yeah. And it is available for download on Good Old Games, although if you can find it, I was able to find this fairly easily on eBay for about 15 bucks. So, if you can find this, I'd recommend getting the box copy because it installs and runs just fine without any help. So, on a modern system, on at least Windows 10. So, yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed this nostalgic look back, and there'll be more to come. I'll try to get a new video out every week from now on. Alright?